Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR Today for Thursday morning, January 14th, 2021. I am the man they call Meathead, and boy, have we got a lot of stuff to talk about this morning. First off, let's talk about the person that we got with us for his third day in a row, I think. It's Matthew Thomas. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning. 3 consecutive mornings. This is a record, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, because normally we got the split schedule. We're just flipping things around a little bit. It's not like a FM radio station that's changing genres, and then they play all sorts of weird music over the weekend. Nope, it's 3 in a row. We'll be talking to Linda tomorrow morning. But first off, let's talk about our sponsors. As seen on AEW Dynamite, get yourself a Buenos Hermanos t-shirt, courtesy of the Good Brothers at collarandelbowbrand.com. PWR 360 is going to save you 10%. And again, get that shirt while it's hot. Now that it popped on Dynamite, I'm telling you, it looks good. And it's the Meathead's favorite shirt. It's a shirt of the week, maybe? I don't know. I mean, it's not like I have a shirt of the week, but that's the shirt I love. I love it. It's black. It's got the skulls. Buenos Hermanos, mucho grande. Head on over to collarandelbowbrand.com. And then manscaped.com is saving you 20% with PWR as the promo code. You can get all their stuff, including just the Lawnmower 3.0 when it's 8,000 RPMs, or you can get the entire care package, which replaces blades as well, and it gives you the ball powder, it gives you the toiletry bag, gives you the boxers, all that other good stuff. Ass clippers, taint trimmers. I don't know what they're calling them, but they are definitely hooking you up over at manscaped.com. Matthew, I know you got a Manscaped package.
You know that, huh?
I rewound that. Did you hear that? Matthew.
I heard something.
I know that you've worked with manscaped.com to clean your package. But I've heard that they've got all sorts of things on nose hair trimmers. I'm trying to grow out the handlebar mustache, so we'll see what happens on that. But have you gotten your gear from Manscaped yet?
They've got some great products, and here's the thing. With the handlebar though, you could probably have a little leeway with those nose hairs, right? You could probably just kind of connect
just
them.
Group into it.
Yeah, you could probably just connect them like a little curly cue.
Doesn't work that way. There's a gap in there. No, the problem is with growing out the handlebar mustache, people don't think about it. I mean, it's taking time. I mean, here we are. I started on November 1st, and here we are January 14th. You got to grow out the corner hairs, right? So it's the corner hairs that you got to grow along. Right now, to eat my food, I have to push my mustache out of the way to part the C's to get the food in the old pie hole there. But I'm still not shaving it yet because I'm trying to grow out the corners. I can get a little twist going. I mean, I have pieces of it where I can twist it up and kind of curl it up a little bit, but not enough to wax and do everything else I got to do with it. So,
have you ever seen one of those old Tommy mustache cups?
You mean like the cup with the brush and the cream?
No, I've seen cups before, like mugs, like coffee cups, where it's got like a little separate place for your mustache. So it keeps your mustache separated from the actual liquid.
Nope. But have you seen A Million Ways to Die in the West?
No, I haven't.
I implore you to watch that. I know that you've taken my heed and you're watching the league now. And if I've done you wrong so far?
No, your recommendations have been very well advised, and that I do appreciate.
You got to see A Million Ways to Die in the West. It's a Seth MacFarlane from Family Guy movie. Liam Neeson, Charlize Theron. Doogie Howser's in it. Neil Patrick Harris, and he runs a mustachery, and they have a mustache song. Say the word mustache. It's worth the time.
I will say this. I have greatly appreciated Neil Patrick Harris's, I'm not going to say cameos because he's in there longer than a cameo, but his features in the Harold and Kumar series, which I recently watched for the first time. So,
really,
if that's any comparison, I'll definitely check that out.
Absolutely. There's also, Meathead's wheelhouse is dick and fart jokes, and there's a lot of D and a lot of F jokes in this movie. So.
Well, there you go.
Including Neil Patrick Harris dropping a load in a bowler hat. So.
Oh, wow. I wonder if this would have been before or after he was shot fleeing the house of prostitution.
I believe it was after. He's the main villain in there besides Liam Neeson. So
interesting.
All right. Well, that's not what you tuned in for. You tuned in to hear a little bit of wrestling news. We got some. after our conversation yesterday morning on PWR Today, it seems that Impact Wrestling has taken heed, and the new commentary team this Saturday for Hard to Kill has been announced. Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne no longer calling the matches for Impact. This Saturday, the new commentary team of Matt Stryker and D'Lo Brown will begin calling action. Josh Matthews has been promoted up to an executive producer of the show, and Madison is supposed to be doing something as well, but the details are a little sketchy. So get ready, folks. It's Matt Stryker and D'Lo Brown. Now, at commentary, will D'Lo Brown be wearing the chest protector?
You might as well. I mean, it worked for Roman Reigns, right?
Yeah, but then again, when he's at commentary, you can't hear his head shake.
That you can. I'm looking forward to this. This is a nice reset button on their commentary team, and very interesting that it takes place a day after yesterday morning's conversation, or the day of yesterday morning's conversation.
They heard the show. So, they made the move.
They did. Great minds. No, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, Stryker, I think this will be – I'm looking forward to Stryker on this, and I'm looking forward to hearing D'Lo Brown on commentary. I really don't have any idea. I don't recall ever hearing D'Lo on commentary before, outside of maybe, a one-off or something 25 years ago when he was a wrestler. So this should be fun. And I mean, this really, I think it's going to encourage some people to press the buy button this Saturday, because it's just kind of a new reset, and you've got new eyes on Impact, and I think it's a good time for it.
I tell you, if you're a fan of Great Lakes Championship Wrestling and Tommy Dreamer's show when he had Blizzard Brawl a few years ago on the Twitch channel, you got to hear Matt Stryker working with our own Damian Nelson calling that entire program. So we're familiar with Matt Stryker. I don't think I've heard D'Lo call many matches. I know he's been an on-air talent, but we've heard Matt Stryker call matches before, and of course he called them in NXT as well for a while. So,
and I will say, don't confuse Blizzard Brawl with the indie show that you and I are trying to put together in the upcoming months. A Blister Brawl.
Blister Brawl. I think that's one where we watch a lot of movies and don't have any lotion. Just kidding. That's gross. Gross. I feel like I was Miz there. Correct. Gross. But I'm excited to hear it. And, I've been thinking about this. I know the accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe will be having some conversations coming up in the next couple of weeks, how to rescore Miz now being the Money in the Bank contract winner again. Does the man they call Meathead get pay-per-view points for Kenny Omega showing up at Hard to Kill this weekend?
It's very possible. But what happens to Team Damian Nelson, since Damian Nelson is no longer part of?
I think he needs an advocate. I've got it. Ladies and gentlemen, now running Team Nelson, the Nelson family, Matthew Thomas.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, and I'll be in touch with all the other combatants. It might be time for me to do some dealing and some trades.
That is breaking news, folks. Here we are, January 14th, 2021. Damian Nelson having to recuse himself from the PWR Draft. You are hearing it first on this very program. Matthew Thomas has taken over the Nelson family.
Fantastic. The first acquisition I'd like to make is I will trade whoever I need to get Disco Inferno.
Disco Fever, yeah. Oh, you can have Disco Fever if you'd like it. You need to give up someone that is currently either injured or no longer participating in the world of wrestling, like Disco Inferno.
Can I just give up an active roster member just because I don't want him on my team?
No. You'll have to consult the accounting firm again of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe on how pickups work. So you have to have either a injury or somebody that is, injury can be storyline or real, or it's somebody that is no longer employed by one of the two major companies.
Well, I know how pickups work. I used to own a pickup.
And of course, that night in Denver with Damian, you were working on some pickups.
There you go.
Let's get back to wrestling here. So, good news coming out of Impact Wrestling, Matt Stryker. And every time I say it, I'm like, Stryker. You get the reference, I hope, right? You don't.
Striker. No.
If you didn't say it right away, you don't.
No.
Airplane.
Oh.
The Airplane, the movie. Striker.
Yeah, I watched it like 25 years ago.
Okay, well, get caught up. So we've got more news. This is WWE news, and this is kind of a big deal, but not really a big deal, but it's a big deal. Now, WWE had been doing the last handful of years a bunch of Middle East shows. They are going to be doing a show now for India called Superstar Spectacle, Tuesday, January 26th. Now, this will air on Sony 10.1, Sony 10.3, and Sony Max on India's Republic Day, Tuesday, January 26th at 8 p.m. IST. I assume that's India Standard Time, with commentary available in both English and Hindi. Confirmed to return for this pay-per-view event is a man who is always being hindered. His name is Jinder Mahal.
My goodness, that's worth the price of admission right there. And I've also got to say, Superstar Spectacle. I expect that we're going to see everybody in glasses. Is that correct?
I left it silent there on purpose to let the crickets be added in later.
Yeah. See, spectacle. That's a synonym. Spectacles are a synonym for glasses. You see, for people who don't quite get the reference, or refer to their eyewear as spectacles.
Austin Powers once said spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch, something like that.
Although I expect there's a handful of superstars that probably could get away with a monocle.
Maybe. Here's what's announced so far for the show. They tell us we're going to have either epic matches or appearances by WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Women's Tag Team Champion Charlotte Flair, AJ Styles, Bayley, The New Day, Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, SmackDown Tag Team Champions Ziggler and Rude, Natalya, Ricochet, and many more, plus an appearance by WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair. Per Triple H, we love the passion and support from the huge WWE universe in India, so we've teamed up with SPN, the exclusive home of WWE in India, to surprise our fans with an incredible event to kick off 2021. WWE Superstar Spectacle will be an event with electrifying matches featuring some of the biggest names in WWE, along with the incredible Indian performers, plus thrilling and authentic Indian-inspired entertainment. With matches announced in the coming weeks, WWE fans can look forward to witnessing appearances by 10 Indian WWE talents, including, as mentioned, Jinder Mahal, the Bollywood Boys, the first all-Indian tag team in WWE, Indus Sheer featuring Rinku and Sarav, and I apologize if I mispronounced that. NXT superstar Jeet Rama, Kavita Devi, the first Indian woman to sign a WWE contract. Look at that. Great Khali's trainees, Giant Zanjeer, who is 7'2" and 340 pounds, and Dilshir Shanky, 7', 310 pounds. Dude, 2 7-footers being taught by the great Khali, and then Guru Raj, the first Indian-born high flyer in the WWE. Dude, I'm honestly looking forward to one, seeing the Khali, and two, seeing his 2 7-footers.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Wow, I did not know about the 7-footers or the Giants.
Do we have a date? Do we have a date on this?
January 26th. It's a Tuesday.
Wow, so it's right around the bend. It's pre-Rumble.
Yeah, and it's the week before the Rumble. And this, according to the accounting firm I just got this news in of Dewey Cheatham and how this is a PWR Draft qualifying event. Points will be garnered at this event. So, Matthew, for taking over Team Nelson, the Nelson family, you were going to be able to score right away at the Superstar Spectacle.
Wonderful. Who's got gender?
No one. I drafted him original, and I dropped him.
Interesting.
Actually, I take that back. I traded him to Dave Hero, and Dave Hero dropped him due to injury to pick up Karrion Kross.
How did that work out for him?
He got a title win.
Yeah. That sounds like a wise move.
All right. Well, hey, it's pretty cutthroat in this league here. Again, you're speaking to the league champion because I plan on winning this thing. So, I'll get cards made up that says you're league champion, and technically I'm the commissioner as well.
You're wearing quite a few hats.
I do wear hats. Let's speak about the hat that talks about wrestling now. AEW and TNT announced the first ever annual Dynamite Awards show This is going to be streaming live Wednesday, January 27th. We got a lot of stuff going on that week.
Yeah, January's a busy month, man.
January's
a busy month. Yep.
So TNT and the Bleacher Report announced today the first annual AEW Dynamite Awards, a new award show honoring the top AEW stars and viral moments of the past year. The show will live stream on Wednesday, January 27th at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on the Bleacher Report app. Now, starting today, fans can vote for the biggest favorites in a variety of categories, including Best Moment on the Mic, Biggest Surprise, Breakout Star, and Biggest Beatdown by visiting www.aewawards.com. Looks like Shaquille O'Neal, Bert Kreischer, Chanel Sonnen, Curtis Granderson, Camille Kostick, Kevin Heffernan, Steve Lemmy, Ron Funches, Daniel Fishel Karp, and Jensen Karp are among the virtual award presenters. Now, again, I've not steered you wrong so far on shows to watch. The guys I'm happy about, Kevin Heffernan and Steve Lemmy. Do you know who that is?
The names sound familiar, but I couldn't tell you.
You've seen Super Troopers, right?
Yes, I have.
That's Farva, and that's Mac.
Oh,
also,
is that
in a show I've been trying to get you to watch called Tacoma FD.
Yeah. That's about a fire department, correct?
Yes, because of the FD in there.
Yeah.
Stands for fire department.
I use my context clues.
Your spectacles? You use your spectacles on that one?
You know, I've heard it recently from multiple sources about multiple people. Do you know there's apparently this thing that's I don't want to say rampant because it probably doesn't happen all that much, but there's been multiple occasions and multiple reports of firefighters setting fires and then proceeding to put said fires out so they could be the big hero. Like, we've had several incidents of that happen.
Is that happening in Denver?
No. I'm not Denver, but I'm also not going to disclose where it's technically happened. But yeah, apparently that's a thing. Firefighters setting fires and then putting them out. Wow. Which at that point,
you're kind of back to what I'm calling.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of back to square one because there was no fire, then there was, and there wasn't. Well, you're not square one because stuff's burning up, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah, that's a thing that happens apparently.
Wow. All right, let's talk about AEW's AEW New Year's Bash Night 2 or New Year's Smash Night 2 recap. A couple big matches here. Excuse me. A couple big matches here. We had if Taylor loses, he becomes Miro's. It's not a butler. It became his young boy. Chuck Taylor taking on Miro. And this was an easy one for Miro. Miro destroyed Chuck Taylor, and now he's his young boy. That one's going to be a little creepy to see in the next coming weeks. 6-man tag. The Elite, which we assumed was going to be Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, taking on the Varsity Blondes, Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison with Danny Limelight. But it wasn't the Young Bucks in the Elite. It was the Buenos Hermanos, also known as the Good Brothers. Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson of Impact Wrestling showing up last night on AEW Dynamite. Matthew, your thoughts on the Good Brothers showing up on AEW?
Not as much of a surprise as it was, as it has been in the previous weeks, but I think this gave us an indication of how things may go with the Impact pay-per-view this weekend. I don't think there's the cohesion with the Bullet Club that we thought there was. And, I'm looking at this weekend's pay-per-view and really seeing what makes sense for this outcome in this 6-man tag. And I don't know that Kenny Omega and company really have a ton to gain. I mean, AEW is the big dog, is the person that is
in this fight.
In this fight. And I think you really can kind of prolong the storyline by having Team Impact escape with the win via some Bucks interference, and I think that might be the direction.
You take that to Revolution in February.
Yeah, I think that's the direction that we might very well be going this weekend, and that was potentially cleared up by what we saw tonight.
Yeah, let's talk about the waiting room with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Was that or was that not a circa 1980s talk show in wrestling?
No, I enjoyed it. That was one of the high points of the night for me. It's still a little bit weird with the whole Shaq thing. And as it progresses, it doesn't really necessarily get any less weird or any more clear. But no, I thought that got us something tonight. And uh, Thunder Rosa making the appearance remotely, and it made me realize that Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb, the only two people that appeared on the show tonight unaffiliated, that are not part of a stable or a tag team. Everybody else on the show, AEW has gone more stable, happy than any promotion at any point that I've ever seen. There was no other, out of all 2 hours of television, out of many people as we saw, those were the only two people that were unaffiliated. And you've got technically both of those are NWA talent, right? So yeah, you have no AEW superstars that are not part of a stable that were on the show tonight.
Right, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about the main event, AEW TNT Championship match, Darby Allin and Brian Cage. Brian Cage, obviously part of Team Taz. You would think Darby Allin was solo. He's not. He's got a friend and a man named Sting. I mean, you're right.
Which I believe that was called on this very program yesterday morning, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it was called, and it was probably called by Matthew Damas.
And I apologize if I took away anyone's enjoyment of the product last night because I told you verbatim exactly what was going to happen. I apologize, but that's just that's the nature of the beast, and that's what we do.
Yeah, we skipped over one and I forgot it. Let's talk about the Inner Circle's New Year's resolutions. I love the fact that Sammy Guevara didn't get it. He's like, you know what? We're going to have a tag team with Sammy and Hagar.
Yeah.
And Jericho, being the rock guy that he is, goes, you don't get it? Never mind. Moving on.
Inner Circle does subtle so well.
Yeah. It's not subtle. I mean, it's out there, but they're playing it off the subtle. So, all right, let's talk NXT before we go today. NXT, honestly, they are doing technically a reset. Again, they booked their competitively booking, and they were not booking to go up against what AEW had last night. This was booked to go up against AEW with nothing.
Yeah.
So what they did is they started off the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament, and we had tons of tag team matches. We also had a match with Dexter Lumis and Johnny Gargano with the North American Championship on the line. It didn't do anything for me. Great wrestling matches. I'll tell you, one of the moves that I saw I don't remember if it was in AEW or NXT, to be completely honest. I mean, I crammed 4 hours in last night. But it was a Hurricanrana where dude grabbed him by his head with his shoes. All the work had to be done by, the guy taking the move, but I thought it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and there was also a couple of really good spots in the Darby Allin.
I'm going to say it was in the MSK, Jake Atlas and Isaiah Swerve Scott match.
There was a really interesting spot I'd never seen before. It was Darby Allin. I think he tried to pin Cage really close to the ropes, and Cage kicked out powerfully, and Darby Allin was able to take that momentum and actually jump up on the turnbuckle.
Yeah, that was pretty slick too. By the way, the MSK are the Rascals from Impact Wrestling.
Interesting.
So MSK wins and moves on. I have a problem with the main event. It's a great wrestling match. Okay, it was Breezango and it was the Undisputed Era. Yes, on paper, the Undisputed Era should beat Breezango, but that's the exact reason why Breezango should have had that match. There were shenanigans outside with Pete Dunne and the NXT Tag Team Champions. But that's the perfect reason to let Breezango move on in this match, and you give the Undisputed Era something else to do with the NXT Tag Team Champions. I didn't need Cole and Strong to win this match.
No, not at all. And it makes a ton of sense there. If you're going in that direction, you give it to somebody else that needs it a little bit more. I mean, it resembles a little bit what we saw last year with AEW, where the Bucks were knocked out by Private Party in the first round.
In the first round, yeah. And what it did is it got Private Party noticed.
And they're still talking about this to this very day. That is something that can help make a career and that you can carry. I mean, how many times have you heard Jericho talk about beating The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night?
Yeah, he still talks about it, as he should. Because Again, 1, Rock and Stone Cold gave that to him. 2, the company gave it to him. And 3, he's made it work for him. So, well, hey, Matthew, that is 25 plus minutes now of some amazing everywhere news. We've got PWR Draft news. We've got WWE pay-per-view news. We have AEW extra show news. NXT news. Holy smokes. We've got news all over the place. Impact Wrestling news. We covered a lot in 25.
We did. We packed quite a bit in there. And I think
we impacted. You're right.
I think there was something for everybody, no matter, whether you like wrestling or whether you like some of the other stuff that we talk about. There's a little something for everybody. It's like a variety show. We are, I'm pretty much the Lawrence Welk of professional wrestling podcasting.
And what does that make me?
Yeah, I didn't really have a sidekick, did he?
No. Lawrence Welk ran his own polka show.
Yeah, well, maybe.
And wouldn't I be the Lawrence Welk if I'm the Pollock on this show?
Yeah, you know what you could be? You could be the Star Wars. Was it the Star Wars Christmas special?
Yeah, that's exactly who I am.
That was kind of a variety show. Or the Brady's had a variety show for a while. You can have either one of those.
I'd rather do the Dewey Cox variety hour.
Yeah, that's respectable.
There we go. All right. For Matthew Thomas, 3 days in a row. I'm ready to talk to Lyndon tomorrow morning. I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.